Hi everyone, this is Fiona from Pelikin, and this week, as part of our Go Local campaign, I'm speaking to the lovely Narelle from Under Down Under Tours.
Hi, thank you so much for speaking to us today. We're really excited to be distributing your tour on our app and letting Australians know what fun things they can do within their own country now that we can't go overseas at the moment. So how long have you been doing the tours for?
Under Down Under's been running tours since '96.
Gosh,
So many.
not a long time ago. And
Really.
you do a lot of tours, don't you? There's about 15 I've seen on your website. Is that right?
It's probably, I guess, there would be about that. Sometimes the tours just depend where we depart from. They're essentially the same itinerary, but we have Hobart and Launceston departures available for many of our tours. The key tours are, I guess it depends on the day length, and a lot of people do choose what they want to do in Tasmania based on the number of days that they have available. Our longest tour is 7 days, and our shortest tour is actually 2.5 hours, which is a cycle tour around Hobart from the top of Mount Wellington all the way down to the waterfront. So yeah, lots of different lengths of tours available.
I've seen on your website there's so many amazing pictures of all the tours and all the things that you see. It's incredible. What would you say your most popular tour is that you offer?
Good question. I'd have to say our Super 7, which is a 7-day loop around the island, is the most popular. It encompasses the west coast and sort of loops around the island and the east coast as well as Bruny Island down the southeast, and Port Arthur, Tasman Peninsula too. So you're really getting a taste of the major highlights, plus our guides know all the great hidden gems as well to stop off at along the way.
And is that what's like a brief description? How does the tour kind of plan out?
Good question. So we run small group adventures. So the maximum group size we run is 24. But sometimes groups are smaller than that. We like bringing people together from either the mainland or overseas to share their experiences as they travel around. So if you joined our Super 7, for example, you depart Hobart and we head west. Our tours are quite active in nature and very nature-based. As an advanced ecotourism operator, we love getting people out into the outdoors and the wilderness. Our first stop is Mount Field National Park. It's part of the Tasmanian World Heritage Area. We see Russell Falls and some of the tallest flowering trees in the world. We then continue to Lake St Clair, like the Australia's deepest freshwater lake. A couple of stops along the way as we traverse the Franklin Gordon Wild Rivers National Park. And our final stop is Strahan, which is a harbourside town. It's one of the most beautiful little communities that you can experience in Australia. And we spend 2 nights there. So the next day, the key highlights are a trek to Montezuma Falls, which are the highest waterfalls in Tasmania at 104 metres tall. The beautiful rainforest there in the Tarkine, as well as a trip to Henty Dunes, which are huge sand dunes right on the coast there with views out to the ocean. They say they've got the freshest air in the world that circumnavigates the globe. And everyone loves just sort of mucking around in the sand dunes. Or other guests may choose to do something different with their day, and that is to take the Gordon River cruise, which is just one of the most magical experiences deep along the Gordon River there that you can have. So that's a great option too. After that, what we're heading to is the big ticket item, which is the next day, Cradle Mountain. You probably would have heard of Cradle Mountain. Most people have. It's a hiker's paradise. Most people will choose to go the Dove Lake circuit, which is a glacial carved lake, or there's a more challenging option to Marianne's Lookout, which everyone that's fit and active and gung-ho would love that option. We also get to check out some wombats at Ronnie Creek, and then we go through the town of Murals at Sheffield and end up in Launceston for the night. So we're kind of halfway through the tour almost there. After that, we're leaving towards the east coast, but we have a quick stop at Cataract Gorge in Launceston before one of the main ticket items is the Bay of Fires, really well known in Tasmanian photography just because of burnt bright orange coloured boulders and turquoise waters and white sands, and everyone can kick off their shoes and enjoy some time there before heading down the Great Eastern Drive to Bicheno. That's our home for the night. Before we settle in, we stop at East Coast Nature World to see some Tasmanian devils and other Australian or native Tasmanian wildlife. And before the end of the day, anyone that's really keen on wildlife can join an optional guided little penguin tour where you see penguins come to the ocean by torchlight. That's an accredited tour that they can join as an optional extra. But wildlife lovers would really go for that. The next day is Freycinet National Park. I guess the main thing here is we get up really early and we're at the park and we maximise our time here. There's lots of walking options to Wineglass Bay Lookout, which you can continue on down into the beach itself, or just relax on a secluded beach. Or Mount Amos is a really challenging but excellent hike for anyone that's super fit and active. We also visit Cape Tourville for outstanding views of the Hazard Mountains, and then out into the ocean as well. So that's, I guess, the majority of the day is spent there, and then the rest of it is travelling back down to Hobart. The last 2 days of the tour, I'll just cover real quick. We visit Bruny Island, which is really well known for its nature as well as its gourmet food. We taste, as part of our tour, Bruny Cheese Co., some cheeses. We taste oysters from Get Shucked. We taste honey from the Honey Pot. And there's options for walks at Adventure Bay and also at Cape Bruny National Park. There's a lighthouse there and heaps of history to learn about along the way. And the last part of our tour is Port Arthur and the Tasman Peninsula. This is a real interesting day because it combines a lot of history. We stop off at the best preserved colonial town in Australia, which is Richmond. You can see the oldest built convict bridge, the oldest Catholic church, and wander around these streets. And then the peninsula itself is just stunning. There's the highest coastal sea cliffs in all of the southern hemisphere. We stop at Pirates Bay Lookout and we enjoy the geological features at Tasman Arch, the Blowhole, and the Devil's Kitchen. But the main thing here is going to the World Heritage Area, the Open Air Museum of Port Arthur, which has the best preserved convict ruins in Australia and in the world. So we get plenty of time to explore that. Guided tour and then a little harbour tour as well. So that's kind of the main thrust of the day. And that's it. That's a Super 7. So
that sounds amazing. I've never been to Tasmania myself, and that really made me want to go with everything that's involved, and so much that you can see and do as well. It sounds incredible.
We're really lucky here in Tassie, that's for sure.
So your tours are advanced Ecocertified. What does that kind of mean then?
So to get a certification, you have to meet obviously a lot of different criteria. The advanced certified criteria, it's a program run by Ecotourism Australia. The advanced tier is the highest tier that you can obtain. We've had that since 2002, so it's been part of our company ethics for a very long time now. It means that the quality of the interpretation that our guides provide, the way in which we get guests to enjoy and interact in nature, keeping wildlife wild, sticking to tracks, minimal impact principles, even how we conduct our business back at the office or at the depot. It involves lots of different aspects. There's also a strong desire to present Indigenous culture authentically and respectfully with our company. So it really trickles down through the whole business.
Oh, that's fantastic. How has COVID affected your business?
Well, it's been like so many operators around Australia and in Tasmania. As soon as the borders closed, that effectively meant that we had to shut up shop temporarily. So our last tour was on the March 19th, and we're still quite busy actually planning for, I guess, a domestic market. We're ready for mainlanders to come down and experience Tassie, particularly if they're short on time. Then we can have a hassle-free, terrific group experience for them. But yeah, traditionally we've mostly involved international visitors, but we're ready and willing, and it's not necessarily a budget style trip, but there's comfort accommodation that motel options that families or small groups can come and join our tours as well. So we actually offer a range of sort of different tour experiences.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and it's such a good opportunity for Australians to come and visit their own country now that we can't go overseas and that borders are opening, and Tasmania has so much to offer, so it's definitely be something that more Australians will definitely come and see, I think.
Certainly hope so. We're ready and willing once borders open to have mainland visitors come on tour. That'd be great.
Thank you so much for speaking to me today.
All right, cool, Fiona. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.